Anyways, let's talk about this stuff that is coming up, guys. So they finally released Esports Plans for 2020 for PUBG for the global scene. So I didn't read it yet, so we're gonna read it together. How nice. Esports 2020 PUBG Global Series at a glance. So I guess this is just the first document. They're gonna release a lot more with more details. PUBG is expanding and reloading for 2020 with the introduction of the PUBG Global Series. So PGS? Yeah, it says PGS down here. All right. So an early look at PUBG 2020 esports. PUBG esports is expanding and reloading for 2020 with the introduction of PGS, building off the momentum of 2019 PUBG Nations Cup and PUBG Global Championship. The PGS looks to further grow our esports fandom and ecosystem with an improved competitive structure, increasing revenue sharing with teams and greater opportunities for third-party tournament organizers. Okay, so there's some big things right away. I think the biggest thing is third-party tournament organizers. This is something that was missing 100%. Like, people were complaining every day. Why is there no tournaments in between this season and the next season? Why can't, I don't know, ESL host anything? Why can't GLL host anything? I mean, some tournaments were held, but nothing major for pros. Like, pros basically only played PUBG Corp tournaments, which are regional leagues, PGC, and all those like little events in between. But that's all the main PUBG circuit. Outside of that, they never played online tournaments. I don't remember when pros played online. They played OGA Pit. Wait, was that? Yeah, that was online. But that was just, they really don't play that many tournaments, and that was a real issue. And okay, there is Contender Series, but outside of that, it was very hard for people to show their skill in PUBG, I'd say, in PUBG esports. So yeah. All right, so next, 4 global events hosted by PUBG. Okay, so 4 events. Oh, before we go into that, revenue sharing with teams, but I guess they're going to talk about it later. What a silence in chat when Papa is talking. Wow. Given the warm reception from PUBG Global Championship 2019, we decided to bring the format of the event to PGS and expand it to more global events. In essence, we are throwing 4 world-class PUBG esports events with the same prestige as PGC 19. Okay, so 4 PGCs. I mean, a lot of people like PGC. I think the event itself is too long, being 3 weeks, so I don't think they're going to host 3-week events. The 4 PGS events will be hosted in major cities around the world in April, July, October, and November, each featuring 32 teams and larger prize pools supplemented with crowdfunding. So they're really trying to copy PGC because they think that PGC is the way to go. PGC style of events. I mean, a lot of people agree that PGC was a great event. Main problem was being hosted in NA. Star C, 10 gifted subs. Damn. Thank you very much, Star C. So they're going to be hosted in April, July, October, and November. Wait, April? That's like one. Dude, that's like 5 months away. Right? December, January, February, March, April. Dude, that's so far away. Wow. The pros might be bored, but third-party tournament organizer. I think a lot of different organizers are going to jump on this opportunity and try to host events as soon as possible because people are hungry for more events, for different formats, for all kinds of stuff. All right. The final event of 2020 is the PUBG Global Championship. So another PGC. The first 3 events all serving as both major live events onto themselves and qualification tournaments for the PGC. I must agree. I like that. Silky John's thinking for 14 months. I must say that I'm kind of liking this approach. What are you guys thinking so far? Instead of having regional leagues, it's better to have some kind of open qualifiers and stuff. I mean, did they say open qualifiers yet? All right, we're going to see this now. Oh, it already says Berlin? Oh, wait, what? Okay, we'll check this out. Yeah, we don't know what cities they're going to choose, but it's going to be like, this is my guess right now. Berlin, Seoul, and I don't know, something like Atlanta or similar. Something on the East Coast. Or maybe like Austin. That's my guess. All right, let's check this out. So PGS. These are like the major events in CSGO. Let's call these majors. PGS. Majors. And PGC is like, PGC is like TI for Dota. So PGC, 3 PGS events. The first one being in Berlin. So is this confirmed that Berlin is the first PGS event in April? Yeah, it is. So in April 2020, PGS Berlin will be first marquee event of the PUBG Esports calendar with qualification beginning in February for most regions. So that's quite a while before the event, meaning that the qualifiers are probably going to be a little bit longer. With the introduction of the PUBG Global Series, regional leagues such as NPL and PL will transform into an open qualification system feeding the region's teams into each PGS event. These qualifiers will feature both online and offline elements and will no longer require competitors to reside in a specific location. Wait, oh, there were some requirements before. I don't think a lot of people had a problem with that, but oh, like in NPL, you could only have like 2 EU players or 1. I'm not even sure. But okay, so these events are important because they contribute to you qualifying for PGC. Although, man, I don't agree with something that you did 6 months ago or 8 months ago contributing to you playing on a certain tournament. How do you even stay as a team sometimes for 8 months if you're not getting along, but you had a good placement in one tournament and you kind of break up after a tournament? It's messed up. Yeah, when they start changing players, like, I don't think that's a good way to handle things. I know that in, I don't know, CSGO, they have the legend status teams that go from major to major, like, without qualifying. I'm not sure about this. So more events and tournaments for you and other... I don't know what it's going to mean for me, but it's definitely going to mean more online stuff for pros. Well, technically, there's no offline stuff except the third-party organizers. Guys, we're only talking about PGS leading into PGC, those 4 events, and their qualifiers. We're not even talking about other events. This is PUBG Corp, what we're looking at. PUBG Corp events. Other events, whatever they are, GLL, Faceit, OGA, OGN, they could all host their own tournaments. So we're going to see. These qualifiers will feature both online and offline elements. Oh, okay. So it's going to be like, remember PGI? They play those online qualifiers. And then the top teams played in Leicester. If you remember that, before PGI. And in Leicester, it was still just a qualifier, but they played offline. It was a tournament by itself, but it was still a qualifier. So that's, I guess, what they're going to do right here. Okay. Finally, the top 4 teams from PGC 19 are automatically qualified for the Berlin PGS event. All right, so we got Genji, we got FaZe, 4 a.m. and who was fourth? I forgot now, but whoever was fourth. So those 4 teams qualify. That's cool. Oh, there's 32 slots. So they're gonna have groups and stuff. Dude, they're gonna fly in so many people. It's insane. Okay, cool. So it's gonna be like super large scale tournaments. All right, let's look down here. What does it say here? Okay, it's just a graphic of what they said in the text, like 4 events. Okay. So you see, it's October and then November. The early look at revenue sharing. Accelerating the successful PGC item sales program from the 2019 PUBG Global Championship is also a core component of the PGS. After distributing more than 6 million USD in prize pool and crowdfunding to teams at the 2019 PGC, PUBG Corporation will create new in-game items for each PGS event to supplement prize pools and generate additional revenue for participating teams. Now, this is obviously a good thing, but we have to see how they're going to do this. Is this going to be like the PGC jackets again and like little items like that? Or is it going to be every team gets a gun skin, gets this and that? To that end, fans can expect pick and challenge type activities to return with a system that better supports all participating teams and maximizes in-game engagement. All right, yeah, Zalander, I agree with you. How they did pick him this time and how the prize pool was distributed was just a popularity contest, and that should never, ever, 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 ever be done again, because it's just so unfair. How are, well, outside of the top teams per region, how is anyone else gonna do anything there? It wasn't even popularity. I mean, just what player base is the biggest in what region? It was based on who people thought would win. But why? But that's the pick'em challenge. That's how it works. You pick who you want to see winning. The problem was that you could select it even after the event started. Yeah, you know what? I'm not an expert on their pick'em challenge. I have to do my own research, so I'll read up on that what happened. But people were picking to win the skins, not necessarily the team they like. Yeah, of course. But it was also mostly a popularity contest, because it's not like 4 a.m. were the biggest favorites to win that tournament. I'd say FaZe and Gen G or OGN, one of the OGN's teams were the biggest favorites. I will never say 4 a.m. is the biggest favorite to win. So it was mostly a popularity contest, but I don't think you should ever have a system. Oh, you're popular. Here's all the crowdfunded money. Here we go. Yeah. No, it doesn't work like that, man. If it's crowdfunded, let everyone have a take in it. I don't care about their skins. I picked FaZe because I like them. Yeah, I don't think a lot of people went for the skins. It's just that you got your pick and you picked whoever was going to win or whoever you like. Or for that reason, not necessarily because... Oh, yeah. So, partner events. Growing the PUBG esports ecosystem with additional third-party events could have the biggest impact in 2020. I agree with that. By opening up the number of tournaments available for fans and prospective players to attend, tournament organizers and influencers... Did they say influencers? I feel called out. I hate that word, though. Tournament organizers and influencers can present fresh viewing experiences and content that will bring top-tier competitive battle royale to all. There are plenty of additional details about the PGC, including key dates, regional qualification information, and exciting announcements about partners, in-game items, and a few other surprises. Stay tuned to all PUBG and PUBG Esports channel for updates. So yeah, that's it. Yeah, they're probably talking about the TikTok content creator. Yes. high-end content creators. Very hard to say what to think of all of this, guys. I think that we first have to go back and look at the league system. And we got to be honest what it was. It was an absolute failure. Do you guys agree with me? You know, especially NPL. We have to look at it. We got to be critical. To me, it feels like a failure because they gave up on everything except PGC. And why PGC was so successful? Well, because it had so much money pumped into it. Yeah, the players were unhappy. They would like. I don't think in other games players have to literally live for that long, and team houses, all in one city. I don't know what game. Maybe in like League of Legends, and Overwatch, where it's kind of like franchised. But other than that, almost all esports have open circuit tournaments where you pick out, okay, I want to go to this tournament, I want to go to that tournament, I'm going to skip that tournament. Yeah, so there's no more PL. No more PL, no more NPL, no more any league. There's only going to be open qualifiers, you know, high stakes, no mistakes. Make one mistake, you're out. You have one back week, you're out. Yeah, that's what's up. Look, there's still going to be qualifiers. You're still going to see your favorite teams. If they do well, of course they're going to qualify. But we face another issue. And this is a tough one. It doesn't come to mind at first glance, but we saw that the first event is in April. We have a lot of pro teams in the scene. A lot of people on salaries. What the hell are they going to do for 4 months? What are they going to play? Why are they being paid? For what? For playing EFT? Half of the people don't even want to play. 5 months. Yeah, but let's say 3 months. Whole December, whole January, and probably most of February, there's nothing to play. Third-party events, hopefully, but we don't know. Like, people still don't know what's going to happen. They're most likely talking to, okay, let's look at Twitter. Okay, so Simon here. Simon, he's the main guy of GLL. If you don't follow him, leave him a follow. It says vice president, head of esports. Okay, vice president. If they mess up, he doesn't want to go to prison, the president goes to prison. That's smart. I like that. He seems really supportive. He shows have faith in GLL. So they're definitely going to include GLL. 100%. Like, there's no way that we don't have GLL, at least one GLL event on the side. But what with the players again and the orgs? It's not like these players are getting paid a lot because, to be honest, they're not worth a lot to the orgs compared to some other games. Philosophus, which other esports has much major RNG aspects in the game? That was sprEEEzy. It's super RNG with all the settings. Don't need all the other teams to. Yeah, but you don't need 96 games to kill RNG. And even after 96 games, you had 4 teams in the last game that could win. Like, what the hell? Twice in a row. I think 2 seasons in a row, you had the same situation, right? Same teams, or almost the same teams, which is exciting. But that's just pure luck, Zounder, that happened. Because what could have happened, and what everyone was fearing of happening, was a team winning after 70 games. And then you have 26 games to play, where the winner is known. They could just sit AFK and troll people. What would that be? Imagine if we had that situation. Imagine that. PUBG esports would be the biggest joke ever if that happened. Just because they decided to go for 96 games. No one plays that many matches. No one. Okay, biggest win of these changes. PUBG Esports is no longer restricted to 16 teams only. Finally, we can have an open ecosystem that gives players below pro status something to actually play for it. I agree with this, Sims. I agree with this. Now everyone has a chance. A lot of people are going to try to get into the esports scene now. PUBG went in so many different directions. Like the PUBG staff, they had to hire so many people to manage all these micro leagues and stuff. Now, they can probably focus more on quality instead of quantity. They went for full quantity with so many leagues, so many, league ops people, staff that handle team relations, communications, all kinds of stuff that goes on in these leagues. You can hit like 20 people per region to support this system. Now, they only need to focus on one event at a time, plus the regional qualifiers. Now, I know that doesn't mean that there's less things to do. I just feel like they're less spread out and can be more focused on certain things. Will these changes cause organizations to come back to PUBG, to competitive PUBG? Good question. I don't know. Because from one angle, you have more chances as a smaller team, but it's also super risky. What pro teams like is security. I'm going to get this team, and this team, even if it performs the worst possible, they're still going to be in this tournament for the next 2 months. And they're going to be playing for at least 2 months. That means something. But we're banking on them qualifying for all the events and all that because they're really good. We pay them a lot of money. But at least they're going to play this tournament for 2 months because it's 96 games, whatever. Now, that's what the org is like. But what they don't like is there's a huge $1 million tournament, but you got to qualify for it. And there's like 5,000 teams. And 28 make it through. No, not 28. No. Maybe like 5 from your region make it through. Guys like Hayes don't seem to understand that PUBG Esports is not providing a great viewing experience. 115k peak viewers on Twitch after last game of PGC. Not hard dropping is being rewarded. Circle luck is being rewarded. Love the game, but esports mode isn't attractive. Philosophers, I agree with you that to a lot of people, esports mode is not attractive. I myself don't watch that much esports, but I do care what's going on because esports is a part of PUBG and it's just what it is. You can't avoid it. And even though you may not watch esports, you still care a little bit about it if you care about the game, how the game's going to progress. Because they really turned into esports mode now, PUBG, and they want to bring this game to some kind of esports standard. You know why people are projecting mobile esports to grow so much in the next few years? Because no one in mobile is going to go into some third-party site unless he's a freaking competitive pro player or wannabe pro player. No one's going to go on a third-party site and register and then, you got to join this lobby, then use this pass. No. People are like, there's a tournament. I'm going to click to play it. Or I'm going to click to give me a reminder when it's up, and then I join. Because it's so easy, In different mobile games, you can just, there's a tournament. Click. $200. I play all day, and I might get $200. Click. I'm in. That's it. That's what people want. Same thing in PUBG. That's what people want. But mobile is more accessible. But it's also more accessible because even though it's so much easier to, pick up your phone and play, they also make it even more accessible by providing such features like click and play, an actual tournament, big tournament. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't miss the live action on my stream at Twitch.tv/sprEEEzy. See you in the next video.